All right, Shalom, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukak, Wadash. We say double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching us his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to the 144,000, as well as the mixed multitude of men, women, and children, the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, will be some of those men. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And this lesson was inspired by a video that I watched earlier from Elder Mwatazak, GMS LA, and he did a video concerning Jake in a spirit of slumber. You know, they got their heart and mind set on these different politicians, thinking that they're gonna give them some type of freedom. And he was also speaking about how Jake, you know, they're being easily swayed with every wind of philosophy and doctrine, especially when it comes to politics. At one point, you had our people, they were against Trump. You know, they were saying that we got to get him out of office because he's doing this and doing that. And now you got our people, you know, clamoring to get him back in office because the one that they put their trust in, just Joe Biden, he didn't do what they thought he was going to do for him. And in reality, he was never set up, just like Obama and all the rest of these different presidents you've had. They've never been set up to do any of our people any good, but yet our people still support them. You know, some people charge it up to, oh, well, it's the only choice we got. No, we're not supposed to set nobody king over us that's not our people. Roughly, let me get that real quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 14 and 15. It says, when thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God, thy power giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me like all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Right, and our people, you put your hope and your trust in these different nations, particularly the nation of Edom, which is not our brothers, you know. And the reason why, because they're not going to have your interests. They're not going to have your best interests as a nation's at hand. They're going to have their own intentions for their own selves and their own people, like Herod. You know, they didn't care about Israel. They didn't care about the law, statutes, and commandments. They just did what they wanted to do when they were ruling over our people. And that's what caused a lot of contention and strife amongst the leadership and the average everyday people. And likewise today, you know, Trump is not our brother, you know, so you shouldn't be out there voting, but our people believe in it, you know. This is an article from 2020. This is an article that Elder Mwatazak brought out in his video. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Right, the video that I'm referring to in this lesson is entitled The Spirit of Slumber, and it's by Elder Mwatazak, GMS Mwatazak Bun Guide 2. You know, subscribe and be edified. But in this video, he was speaking about how, you know, Jake, they just have a mindset to have the heathen rule over them. You know, you got this whole Blacks for Trump movement, but they ain't the only ones. Again, in 2020, there was an article from NBC News, and it says, the Trump vote is rising among blacks and Hispanics despite the conventional wisdom. Right, and again, Elder Mwatazak brought this article out in the lesson. I just wanted to read a little bit and show an example, you know, how Jake just get behind these so-called leaders, not understanding that they're just setting themselves up for failure each time. You know, one of the biggest gripes that particularly the so-called Negro in America has is that, oh, what's your agenda for black American people, you know, and they don't have an agenda. Not that's going to help you. Their agenda is to destroy you. It says the Trump vote is rising among black and Hispanics despite conventional wisdom, right? Because conventional wisdom would tell you that this man doesn't have your best interests, you know, but yet he'll tell you that he's Trump said it out of his own mouth. He says he basically is African Americans' last hope. You know, he claims he's a chosen one. But if you put your trust in him, you're going to fail every time, all right? So it says the Trump vote is rising among blacks and Hispanics despite the conventional wisdom. Perceptions of Trump as racist seem to be to be a driving force pushing whites away. Why is why is it the opposite for those he purportedly being racist against? Right, because in the beginning when Trump ran, all this racist history started coming out, just like Biden, and Trump doesn't have a heart or a mind for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But yet you got Jake still running to this man thinking that he's their best option and he's their best choice. Right? It says a supporter who goes by the name MAGA Hulk, it's a Jake, wicked ass, simple ass nigga, at a pro-Trump demonstration in Beverly Hills, California. Right? And it says in 2016, Donald Trump got a lower share of white votes than previous Republican nominee Mitt Romney, and white turnout was stagnant as compared to 2012. Trump was able to win nonetheless because he got a higher share of black and Hispanic voters than his predecessor, and roughly 3% points with African Americans and 2% points with Hispanics, helping tilt pivotal races in states such as Wisconsin, Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania toward Trump. It says it may be that many minority voters simply do not view some of his controversial comments as policies as racist, right? And, it goes on from there. But your hope is misplaced, all right? You, Jakes, and I have some pictures right here. You can go to Google and type Hispanics for Trump, and you got a whole bunch of so-called Latinos, these are Israelites, voting for Trump and backing this dude. I actually saw a rap video. This Northern Kingdom Jake was talking about how he was with Trump. He wasn't with him before, but now he's with him. They claim that you choosing the lesser of the two evils. And you see, it's always the woman, the woman, the Latino woman, the Negro woman. You got the men down there too, but it's mainly women out here supporting this guy. Latin support D Trump, That's why the Lord said this in the book of Isaiah 42 and 22, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are all hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restored. Right, and those different holes or those different churches, these different institutions of worship, but they're set for a prey, and then nobody's saying, hey, deliver them. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob a spoil and Israel to the robbers? And Edomites are the robbers, and these are the nations. Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his way, neither were they obedient unto his law. And it's the reason why you got Jake doing this kind of crap. It ain't just the Northern Kingdom. You got the Southern Kingdom, right? Blacks for Trump, blacks for Trump. Right? Thinking that this man is the best option. Look at this shit. They was praying over this dude. They had the black preachers come in, and they had the white preachers come in. And these people are praying for this man. Out of order. Out of order. Simplicity at its finest. Simplicity at its finest. Thinking that he's going to give them some type of freedom. That's why the scripture says, woe to him that put his trust in man. It ain't just the Latinos and blacks. You got the so-called Native Americans too. You got the so-called indigenous peoples set up from, and these are Gadites and Reubenites, Israelites, champion the Edomite. They won't even champion their own, but they'll champion Esau. After all the wickedness he's done. Look at this. Native Americans for Trump. So you got Latinos for Trump. You got blacks for Trump. You got Native Americans for Trump. You through, man. You fucking through. All the wickedness that Esau has done to you, and this is the spirit that you're in. This was their country. This was the Israelites' country. This was Gad's country. You know what I'm saying? And now you're nothing. You're relegated to the corners of these countries, man. The ghettos. But this is the mindset of the Israelites. Salakia. Let me go back to this. This is the mindset of the Israelites today. Meanwhile, Esau is setting up destruction for you. Again, this is a people that's robbed and spoiled. And who gave Jacob for a spoil? Israel to the robbers. Did not the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, he against whom we have sinned? So this is the reason why we're given to the robbers. Because we sin against the Lord. But Jake don't want to hear that. For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient to his law. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger. All that destruction, all the slavery, all the taking the Americans, the destruction of the people, the enslavement of the people. Okay? That's the Lord's anger. And the strength of the battle, and it hath set him on fire around about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. In the NLT it says, therefore he poured out his fury on them and destroyed them in battle. Right? When Gad was taken over by the cavalry, right? When Judah was taken over by Esau, the English, the Dutch, right? The Spanish. Therefore he poured out his fury on them. Yeah, somebody asked me today, like, well, it was only so little of them, so many of us. How were they able to take us over? Because the Lord was with them. That's why. Because of our disobedience. They were enveloped in flames, but they still refused to understand. And it was just from flames or the hardship, the hell our people catching. But they refused to understand the truth. They were consumed by fire, but they did not learn their lesson. So we went through trouble after trouble, and Jake still ain't learned a lesson. And then you still got Jake out here pushing for Esau. All right? This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 5. Right? I'll go straight to the point. Isaiah 30 and 5. They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor be a help, nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach, because Esau is not going to help you out of your situation. Trump is not going to get in there and turn a new corner and give back that which was stolen from our people and set what's right and make what's right. He's not going to do that. Just like Biden wasn't going to do that, isn't going to do that. Let me see something. Yeah, you got this video of Van Jones crying for tears that Joe Biden was elected president. Look at this shit.
Van, what are your thoughts? Well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happier to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back.
Yeah, Jake is through, man. Jake is fucking finished, man. These niggas crying. And Joe Biden is the worst kind of man on the planet Earth, man. Just like Trump. But you're going to all be ashamed for putting your hope in the people that couldn't help you, man. But ashamed to you. Now look at it. Years later, it all comes out that that was all for nothing. Look at this. These 4 years have been worldwide trauma. Mr. Jones expresses this so well. So having Trump in it the first time, they claim that as trauma. But now you people are crying and screaming for Trump, man. You know, you crying and screaming for Trump. So touching to see his heartfelt response on live TV. And this nigga crying for Joe Biden. Just like they don't have the video up there, but I remember when Hillary Clinton went to Pennsylvania, the fucking black woman was crying for her. Screaming and hollering. Oh my God, Hillary. And these people have been destroying your people forever. With policies and different, secret operations destroying our people, man. And you Jakes out here, this is who you put your trust in. That's why you're going to be destroyed. Jake is out of here. Jake is just done, man. Your heart and your mind is on the wrong people. Your heart and mind need to be towards Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why the scripture says, is Israel a slave? Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? The young lions roar against them. Those lions of these other nations, starting with Esau. But Jake, you don't want to get right. So, hey, shalom.